about the ongoing voter verification exercise, display exercise by the Electoral Commission, and the election calendar rolled out by the EC in Gen.Muhoozi, what our position is. And the third issue is about the progress regarding the investigation of PFF. Those are the three issues we are going to canvass at this press conference. The victory as High Court. Yes, well-deserved victory, because it's been a long haul to our colleagues. The famous Kisumu 36, who have been suffering under the yoke, those bankrupt charges, terrorism, right from the time they were kidnapped from Kisumu. Way back in July last year, we have been battling those charges till this morning, the 5th of May, when finally they have been discharged by court. Some good news, of course, as we always say, it's not yet Uhuru, but at least when you register marriage in any given struggle, there is every reason to celebrate. We are not overly excited over the same, but definitely it is some good news that brings some temporary relief, which we must acknowledge. And indeed, we congratulate you, comrades. So, if I proceed to highlight...
Never surrender! Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never.
To inform you that ever since we're given, because we're given bail on the 31st of October 2024. So I think many of you did not pay attention or did not know what was entailed in the ruling. The ruling entailed in terms like should the state fail to commit us in the next 6 months, then we shall be released on the terms of bail. We shall no longer continue going to court. So meaning we got the decision that day. We do not again have to wait to go to court today and get another ruling. So it was a ruling envisaging two things. It was a bail ruling, but also it also gave us a discharge of bail without even reason. So it was now incumbent upon the state to either commit us within this 6 months, failure of which we are automatically discharged of the bail ones, the bail terms and conditions. Of course, we've gone through a lot. You know what it means, being on detention for 6 months. And of course now, don't forget we're in prison for almost 4 months. So it is now 6 months plus the 4 months. 10 months, almost a full year. So of course we've gone through a lot of torture, a lot of fear. Many of our colleagues up to now still going through treatment, psychological torture. It's just too much. We can't even recount it here. So we're happy today. First of all, we're happy to Justice Okalani, Susan, for the modern judgment she gave. Many people ran to court. In many cases of this kind, you moved court for about 10 years when you have not been discharged of bail conditions. And for this I want to applaud her, and I wish other judges in the judiciary actually operate like this. But I will not be so happy because we do not know what will happen. We have always told the people, in Uganda, but any time they can easily come for you. They need, because they are of course the alternatives, but of course today we're only happy that the state has failed to commit us, meaning they don't have evidence in this particular matter. And this is what we were telling people, that we are innocent, we do not do anything. Because if we had done anything, we would have been committed. So we want to say, we're happy to court, and this is how it should be. the court should be there to check the government, to check the states, so that in case they go astray, of course the judge gave them time. The judge gave them a lot of time. So my colleagues, on behalf of my colleagues, we want to say we're happy, and we want to thank you colleagues and members of the press for standing with us, because you kept reporting on this matter and did not give up on us. We want also to thank our party, the institution, the PFF, for standing with us and all change-seeking Ugandans who gave us, for example, resources. We don't have money. We remember running a campaign, our leaders running a campaign, and look for resources to bail some of us out and bail some of our colleagues. 72 million is not a small thing. And we want also to call upon court that when we demand for it, please don't hesitate, bring it back. Because in many cases they always keep it. Right? They don't want to release it. So I want to say we are very happy. Thank you, colleagues. Let's continue moving in liaison so that when anything happens on any freedom fighter, warriors come up and support. Thank you, Mr. President, for God and my country.
The victory as High Court. Yes, well-deserved victory. It's been a long haul to our colleagues. The famous Issue 36, who have been suffering under the yoke of those pumped-up charges, terrorism, right from the time they were taken up from the zoo. Go back in July last year, we have been battling those charges till this morning, the 5th of May, when finally they have been discharged by court. Some good news, of course, as we always say, it's not yet good, but at least when you register mileage in any given struggle, there is every reason to celebrate it. We are not overly excited over the same, but definitely it is some good news that brings some temporary relief, which we must acknowledge. And indeed, we congratulate you, comrades. So, before we proceed to highlight,
Never surrender, never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender.
From you that ever since we were given bail on the 31st of November of October 2024. So I think many of you did not pay attention or did not know what was entailed in the ruling. The ruling entailed in terms like should the state fail to commit us in the next 6 months, then we shall be released on the terms of bail. We shall no longer continue going to court. So meaning we got the decision that day. We do not again have to wait to go to court today and get another ruling. So it was a ruling envisaging two things. It was a bail ruling, but also gave us a discharge of bail. That is the ruling. So it was now incumbent upon the state to either commit us within this 6 months, fail of which we are automatically discharged of the bail terms and conditions. Of course, we're going through a lot. What it means, being on detention for 6 months. And of course now, don't forget we increased it almost 4 months. So it is now 6 months plus the 4 months. 10 months, almost a full year. So of course we're going through a lot of torture, a lot of fear. Many of our colleagues up to now still going through treatment, psychological torture. It's just too much. We can't even recount it here. So we're happy today. First of all, we're happy to Justice Okalani, Susan, for the modern judgment she gave. Many people grant courts in many cases of this kind. You moved court for about 10 years when you have not been discharged the bail conditions. And for this I want to applaud her, and I wish other judges in the judiciary actually operate like this. But I would not be so happy because we need to know what will happen. We have always told people, it's in Uganda. But every time they come for you. Then it's because they are the alternatives. But of course today, we're very happy that the state has failed to commit us, meaning they don't have evidence in this particular matter. This is what we're telling people, that we are innocent when we not winning. Because if they had done anything, we would have been committed. So we want to say, we have paid to court, and this is how it should be. The court should be there to put and to check the government, to check the states, so that in case they go astray, because the judge gave them time. The judge gave them a lot of time. So my colleagues, on behalf of my colleagues, we want to say we're happy, and we want to thank you colleagues and members of the press for standing with us, because you kept reporting on this matter and did not give up on us. We want also to thank our party, the institution, the PFF, for standing with us and not seeking Ugandans. We gave us, for example, resources. We don't have money. We remember when we campaign, our leaders when we campaign, and look for resources to bail some of us out and bail some of our colleagues. So the 2 million is not a small thing. And we also call upon God, but when we plan for it, we don't mistake. Bring it back. Because many cases always, they always keep it. They don't want to release it. So I want to say we are very happy. Thank you, colleagues. Let's continue moving in them so that when anything happens, or any freedom fighter, we always come up and support. Thank you, Mr. President, for being my country.
It has turned out to be a total flop. There are a number of reasons we are advancing here. Number one, it has been a flop. It's a farce. You can all bear testimony to this. Everywhere they are claiming that there is display going on. It's just circus. Circus, nothing else. You've heard the testimonies of their own officers. But on a given day, at any given center, they may receive like a 2, 3, 1, or nobody at all coming to do the verification. And this is the issue which claims they have 20 million voters in the voters list. So, if you do the tallying, you will find that if you were to get statistics from the EC, by now they will tell you not even a quarter of the registered voters has been verified. So it has been a total flop. They never prepared for it. They didn't have sufficient information to the people. They never in any way attempted to do the nitty-gritty, the prerequisite for the exercise to be successful. But that aside, the most serious ground is that key stakeholders in this exercise, those are the political parties, have no space to participate in this exercise. The key stakeholders, you'll appreciate under the law, left, right, center, we are in battle. We are battling to get Dr. Kizza Besigye out of jail together with Obed Butare and a score of other political prisoners. So we can't spread ourselves thin. Everywhere you go, actually, even if you ask people to participate in the exercise, they will ask the question they pose: what is happening to Dr. Kizza Besigye? Shall we even have elections under those circumstances? Those doubts are lingering on the minds of many Ugandans, considering what is happening to Dr. Besigye and others. Now, as we are struggling to get Dr. Kizza Besigye and other political prisoners either being held under the general court martial trumped up charges, then they descend on others. We have just mentioned the Gen.Muhoozi here and the others, where Muhoozi has even the audacity of bragging that is having Gen.Muhoozi under his basement teaching him Runyankole. These statements which are very serious. They go to the root of the Constitution. Actually, they render the provisions of this Constitution a useless, totally useless, that this Constitution is just a paper document. So how do you, under those circumstances, how do you convince people to go and register? In fact, where do you even get the guts? We are on a hunting spree, hunting from one prison, from one detention facility to another, looking for political prisoners, people who are disappeared by the state. people who are victims of enforced disappearance. So the political parties are involved in that. For us here, as we assembled here, all our minds are on how to get Dr. Besigye and others out of prison. When they look, people also assemble at Kafure is how to look for their loved ones, for their members who have been kidnapped and held incommunicado in ungazetted detention centers. And many of these other political parties, that's what is happening. So, who is mobilizing the people to participate in the voter verification exercise? And how can the commission just continue like this? They have not even called for a meeting. By the way, they are ostracizing us. The commission has got an obligation even to visit political parties, because these are registered political parties. In my life, I've never seen here Justice Yabakamati Katonga. Or even those days in Najanankumbi. I don't know when he visited in Najanankumbi. I've never seen him visit Kavuru. I've not seen him visit, maybe they can always open up with him, I don't know. But yes, that one I cannot tell. But at least you can all bear testimony to this fact that just Yabakama treats us as criminals, as enemies of the state. So we are dealing with a criminal state and we are being ostracized. So how do we participate in the voter verification exercise under those circumstances? So the constitution has been abrogated, and therefore it becomes extremely difficult. Look at this particular in Kampala here. People, individuals who had expressed interest because parties hold the primaries and they've been posters when you're going into primaries. You've seen it happen with the political parties, including NRA. Now people are pinning up posters, they are being pulled down under very, very suspicious circumstances. There is no law that stops people from advertising themselves. It's not there. Even if today you go to my portrait here and started pinning it all over. Muhoozi did it for his birthdays. Everywhere, birthday. Which law did he invoke to pin up posters advertising the day he was born? Now people are going into party primaries, are being blocked from advertising themselves, and Justice Yabakama is totally silent. There is deafening silence from the EC about all these injustices. So it's the very reason the election calendar should be halted for the time being. We have a serious conversation about this as a country, chart a way forward, which will result into free and fair competition. Finally, of PFF. We have always briefed you on this. The last time we were here, you remember the announcement we made that for us we had satisfied all the requirements under the law, the political parties and the The initial steps were taken in August. Last year, we completed the process on 29th of November. And we have months within which to verify signatures. That's not true. That's not true. Discretion to do some double check, some background check, and establish whether actually they are authentic. But it's not mandatory. This is what we wanted to make clear. Verification is not mandatory, it's discretion. They may anything, for example, I don't know, just themselves. Can you doubt any document authenticated by Dr.Kizza Besigye? Dr. Besigye gets a document and said, yes, I have cleared this, it should proceed to the next stage. It's as good as collateral for a bank loan. I'm telling you. That one given to you by Dr. Kizza Besigye. Anyone, anywhere, who has sent this? Dr. Kizza Besigye. They don't need to scrutinize. They say, oh, yes. Yes. How can you take all this time verifying documents that have been authenticated by Dr. Kizza Besigye before he was even arrested.
By the road, senior counsel.
No, I'll talk about our elder, our partner here. I don't speak about my modesty forbids. So, that is an insult to us in the first place. If they were to exercise their discretion, it should be about Kwara people. Your president and Commander Katonga, now the commission has finally acknowledged that our documents are authentic.
All for freedom!
The team that last visited the headquarters of the EC, Kennedy Okera and others are here to ascertain whatever query they wanted. They said, we are done with everything that we required to verify. That's what they said. And for the record, they said the law requires 2/3 of the signatures from all the districts in the country. That is the threshold of 97 districts. That is the minimum. By the time they made this proclamation last week, they had verified 101 districts and confirmed and certified that all the signatures are authentic. So we have overshot, we have even surpassed the threshold of 97. So all we are waiting for now is to get our certificate. So all those doubting Thomases, you know, people have been doubting. You get calls here. Shall we be registered? Where? And those who are still oscillating from Katonga, wherever they are trying to look for where to hide, to where to take a refugee, please, your home is Katonga County. Very soon we shall be brandishing the certificate and we shall be brandishing our registration number. See, some people were mocking us that how do you go to sit exams without a center number, that you never give the center number. So the assurance we are giving you, we have beaten all the odds, we have jumped all the hurdles, we are now just on the finishing line of getting our registration number. And on that note, we are calling you, all the promoters, to assemble here on the 12th day of May. Today is the 5th, 12th, that is Monday next week, at exactly 9. We work out the modalities of taking another step after getting our certificate. I'm assuring you, hopefully by that time, the EC will have given us this. Even if they are yet to give it to us. On 12th, we are rolling out a new program. 12th, the new program is going to be rolled out in line with our agenda, which you know of, which is embodied within all the instruments that constitute the platform called PFF. So we agreed on a number of